Hey, it's Rob Oliver here, CEO at Monarch Direct, and I'm sitting here with Katie Zickoff, who's Katie Z. You might have seen her earlier today in a live video. We're kind of double dog daring each other to get out there to the world and start talking about some of the things that we do. Katie's sitting across from me right now. She's laughing. But now it's her turn because I'm on the other side of the camera, so we'll see just how this goes. The reason that I wanted to jump on real fast here is we're getting ready to put out our next Monarch Direct Renegade Insider Letter. It's our printed newsletter that we send out about every other month. And believe it or not, we still send out a printed newsletter every other month just to get something into people's hands. And as I was preparing it and putting the information together, I thought maybe what I could do is just give you a brief preview of what's going to be in the next Insider Letter. It's pretty important. It's particularly important if you're a seasoned business person. Maybe you've been in business 2, 3, 4, 5 years, maybe even 10 or 20 years. Because what happens is, and this can be pretty detrimental to an established business. In fact, I have to be careful sometimes that I don't fall into the trap of simply making things too routine. And here's what I really mean by that. Every day, you or I, we get this opportunity of a lifetime. And what I mean by that is we get a client that calls us for the first time. Maybe we're at a meeting or we're at some sort of a business event and we meet someone for the first time. Maybe we get an email where somebody inquires about a product or service or something that we're offering. Maybe it's simply a phone call. And what happens is after you've been in business for many, many years, you start to treat these calls and these contacts as routine, meaning it happens to you all day, so maybe I'll return this call, maybe I'll have some degree of enthusiasm when I talk to this person, maybe I'll call back, maybe I won't, maybe I'll respond to that email, maybe I'll just do a quick response to an email. But you got to remember that the person on the other end who's inquiring about what you have, it's not routine for them. It's a really big deal. And so what happens is you've got this potential customer client, call it a lead, call it whatever you want to. They've taken the time out of their day. They've actually interrupted themselves to reach out to you or me for something. And maybe they've thought about it for a few days or a few weeks, who knows, even a year, and they're excited and they finally make that first contact. And then we're on the other end of the line or on the other end of the email or maybe even an event, and we treat it as routine like it's just no big deal. And what happens is, over time, as you get these once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, and they can happen 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 10 times a day. And in fact, we have a lot of people who come to us here in the control room, where we help people with their marketing, help them get results. But we have a lot of people who come to us, and then usually one of the first things they say is they're not getting enough leads. They're just not getting enough people to contact them. And then when we start to dissect it, what we find out is that actually they're getting a lot of calls at their business. They do get emails. They do talk to people at social events, business events, and people are inquiring. They're just not taking it very seriously, or they're coming to the conclusion that, this one's just like all the other ones. They'll probably never buy. They're probably going to be cheap, whatever it might be. So they don't treat it as that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And I'm going to stop there. The Insider Letter. And here's my notes. There really is an Insider Letter. The Insider Letter, it'll give you a little bit more information about what I'm talking about. It'll talk more about some of the different types of once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, but it'll also tell you, give you some things to think about or maybe to put to practice in your business that will help to get yourself out of the routine, but also make it so that the client who is calling your potential client really does get treated like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So if you aren't on the insider list, I highly recommend it. If you'd like to get this information, if you just want to get a copy of it, just type list in the comments. Just type the word list, and we'll make sure that you get a copy. We may have to reach out to you to get an address. We'd like to put a physical copy in the mail to you. We can always send you one by email. And just a quick note, and I told Katie I was going to do this. one of the awesome things about having your own stinking printing press is that I get to create stuff like this, right? I mean, these are my notes for the Insider newsletter. And any of you who've gotten the Insider newsletter in the mail, and we send out dozens and dozens, you know that it doesn't look anything like this. But for me, all I have to do is create this mess, and then I give it to our awesome design department, awesome printing department, and what I get back is one of these. I mean, literally, they take this and they turn it into this for me. We put it in a cool envelope. We put, a couple other things in the envelope as well. They make me look really good. And the reason I'm telling you that is that if you've been putting off maybe creating a postcard or a rat card, or maybe even your own company newsletter, or maybe a sell sheet, whatever it might be, because you just don't know how to get started, or you're not quite sure, which direction to go, you can show up at Monarch Direct with this. I mean, with something like this, and in fact, now I'm going to pay a compliment to the person on the other side of the camera, Katie Z. You can give that to Katie Z, and Katie is what we refer to as a special agent. You might have heard me say that before, meaning Katie's role here on Monarch Direct is to become an agent for you, to help guide you through the process of turning something like this into something like this. So if you've been hesitating, or you're just thinking you don't have enough information, you don't have the right pictures, you don't have the right artwork or whatever, just bring whatever you have, ask for Katie Z, and I'm making promises that she has to keep. She will treat you like a rock star. She's going to make it so that by the time we're done, you're going to think you've got the most awesome printed piece ever. And Katie, you're going to have to keep that promise. Again, Katie's on the other side of the camera here, and she's smiling, I think.
Yeah, I promise.
Yeah, so at any rate, the next Insider letter, I think we're going in the mail in and around the 25th of March. We'll be taking this and turning it into something like this. The topic really is once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, and I even have a bold statement at the top that says, figure this out, and you can probably, or you may add, an extra, $1,000, $10,000, $50,000 a year to your business, maybe even a month to your business, just by getting yourself out of the routine of treating your potential customers and clients as if there'll always be another one. So that said, I'd love to put one in the mail to you. I'd like to really put it in the physical mail to you so you can see what I'm talking about. It's even cool paper. In order to get one in the mail, all you got to do is type list in the comments. List, is that what I said, Katie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just type list in the comments, and we'll make sure we'll find your address, or we'll give you a holler, and we will send you by mail the entire package that we send out every other month. And once you're on the list, then you'll actually receive it in the mail every other month forever until you say, hey, Rob, quit sending me that stuff. So thanks a bunch for listening. I really think this might help you, especially if you've been in business for 2, 3, 4 years, and maybe things are getting a little bit routine. Let me know what you think when you get it. Feel free to hit me up on Facebook or send me a private message. I'm going to call this one good, and we will see you next time out there on the Facebooks.